Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, I thought to discuss Ligue 1. Ligue 1 is coming up. We're going to play AS Monaco this weekend. And I thought, let's discuss Ligue 1. Let's talk about Ligue 1 McDonald's in the UEFA Champions League. Because we have some really surprising numbers about Ligue 1's performances in the European competition, not just the Champions League, over the past week that just went by. The first thing we'll take a look at is this tweet I had after I saw Strasbourg beating Crystal Palace 2-1 in the Conference League. Yeah, in the Conference League, I said Ligue 1 is the closest league to the Premier League. And it might be valid. It might be valid because we know about La Liga's downfall. We know that the Spanish chair of football is nowhere close to what it used to be. Same goes for the Serie A. Both of these leagues have been massively affected by COVID. They still haven't been able to return to pre-COVID levels. When it comes to the Bundesliga has the 50+1, which means that an owner of a club can maximum own 49% of the club, which means he can never, do a big thing or dictate. He will never have full authority, full power at the club. And the German culture, the Bundesliga have done this so that no, huge investor like Nasser comes in and buys, Union Berlin and makes them into a historical German club. But that's obviously affected the Bundesliga in not being able to create even larger competition. RB Leipzig is some of the closest one. And Leipzig now, they're not even in the top 4, I think, maybe this season. So they're not really putting that challenge on Bayern München or on the Bundesliga. And obviously with RB Leipzig, they basically work like a company. They're trying to make as much money as possible. They always want to sell their youngsters. So we went through. Serie A is cooked in La Liga because of economical stuff. La Liga also has Javier Tebas. And La Liga also has a lot of old school rules that don't make any sense. And then we have Ligue 1. Ligue 1, a league that suffered during COVID. Ligue 1 was the only European top 5 league that did not resume its league without any fans. No, we actually canceled the league after 21 games had gone by. Ligue 1 canceled the league. And that obviously affected the league economically massively. But I do think with Paris Saint-Germain being so big, signing Messi at that time, and, now winning the Champions League and everything has been absolutely crucial for Ligue 1. And now we can see it. Now we see it in front of us. Strasbourg, a top 5 team, maybe, beating Crystal Palace, who are similar to that. Crystal Palace, they have potentially still a crazy unbeaten streak in the Premier League, beating Liverpool in the Community Shield final, beating Liverpool in the beating City in the FA Cup final. So this is no joke of a team, Crystal Palace. And Strasbourg beating them is huge for Ligue 1. We'll take a look at some more stuff. We got right here, coefficient points added this week. Ligue 1. The French chair of football had the best European week out of any nation in the world. Shout out to Poland, honestly, for coming second. Even Czechia, Cyprus, Greece. We can see Spain all the way down here. Italy still doing well. England and Germany here. Whilst France, Ligue 1 McDonald's is absolutely cooking in the European competition. We have more. I wouldn't want to say it, but PSG second in the UEFA Champions League, Olympique de Lyonnais is leader of the Europa League, and Strasbourg is second in the Conference League. And this is a Lyon side that is going through huge economical problems due to their huge debt. They had to sell a lot of great players like Cherki, and some other players I can't really think of at the moment. Maybe Ernest Nwama as well, and so on and so on and so on. So Lyon should not be in a position where they're first in Europa League. Strasbourg, we know of them. They're obviously co-owned by Chelsea, Blue Co. So they're getting a lot of good investment. They're getting a lot of talents to Strasbourg. Some loanees from Chelsea, for example, Kendry Páez, and so on and so on and so on. And them being second is another huge achievement. Huge achievement from Samsun Sport and even Midtjylland right here for being second and first in the Europa League and Conference League. And then you have Paris Saint-Germain, second in the UEFA Champions League, and this is an incredible achievement. We're only 5 games in. It will matter what happens in the knockout stages. But so far, Ligue 1 has made itself respectable. Here's another post about it. PSG second in the UCL, Lyon first in the Europa League, and Strasbourg second in the Conference League. French football are dominating Europe. And if we go a little bit deeper and check out the Champions League table right here, Let's take a look at where the French teams are. You got Paris Saint-Germain in second place, extremely strong, especially when you take in the injuries that Paris Saint-Germain have had this season. Then you got to go a little bit down. A lot down, actually. And then you got Marseille and Monaco right here. Obviously, we do not have 4 teams in the Champions League. Nice were in the qualifiers, but unfortunately lost out. What an embarrassing institution OGC Nice is. But Marseille and Monaco sitting here, and both of these teams could potentially be making the knockout stages. Marseille, I know that they have Union Saint-Gilloise away. Then they have Liverpool, I know of, at home. But I mean, Liverpool in their current form, Marseille should respectfully beat them. What team am I missing out on? Club Brugge away. It's a little bit of a tricky ties here for Marseille, but I think they should be. I don't want them to do it. I hope Marseille, I couldn't care less about the French coefficient or French anything when it comes to Marseille. I hope they get demoted. I hope they get relegated. But they should make it through with those games coming up. And Monaco, I mean, they've been battling. They should already be sitting on many more points. They battled versus Pafos last minute against Spurs. That a crazy amount of XG, couldn't win the game. But going away to Bodo Glimt is winning is good. They got Galatasaray at home. Could be maybe potentially a tricky game. They got Real Madrid away. And they got Juventus. So Monaco, they have to be really great to make it through. Let's take a look at the Europa League. Europa League, what French teams do we have here? We have Lyon in first place, actually. Yeah, amazing news. Amazing news from Olympique de Lyonnais there. You got Lille, 9 points from 5 games. That's good, sitting 11th in the table. And then Nice are either here or in the Conference League. Yeah, Nice are here. This is the most embarrassing institution in world football. 5 games, 0 points. Nice are completely embarrassing league in French football. Because they said 9th, it's not the worst. They finished 4th last season, which is embarrassing. And then obviously we know about their game against Paris Saint-Germain. They absolutely parked the bus for no reason just to lose 1-0. And then against a team like Marseille, they just open up the floodgates and let them cook them. So Nice, an anomaly when it comes to the French teams performing so well. And lastly but not least, Conference League. But I do believe it could potentially only be Strasbourg that's in the Conference League from Ligue. And Strasbourg sitting second place, really strong right there. I don't think we have another French team. Yeah, no. So basically all Marseille and Monaco should be doing better, but that obviously in the Champions League it's a tough competition. Marseille should not do better. Fuck Marseille. Strasbourg second, Lille 11th, Lyon first, and then Nice. Nice is the anomaly. They're completely embarrassing this league, but despite that, Paris Saint-Germain are still doing very well. We'll check out the French. We'll check out the coefficient points right here on UEFA's official website to take a look at it. So Ligue right here, 8,214 points. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. As you can see, Paris Ligue on 8,214, which is so far not the best. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leagues ahead of Ligue so far this season, not just this match week that went by. You have Cyprus and Poland ahead of us and all the remaining European top 5 league teams. But we can end it better because in 24-25, Ligue finished 5th, only behind Germany, Italy, Spain, and England. Obviously, it will matter what happens in the knockout stages. I think you get bonus points for the knockout stages, and the strongest teams are, the teams that will go through and get the most points. So Ligue has to work on that. When it comes to the points overall, Ligue sitting 5th in a really strong position, but they're getting better with points. 12,522, 23, 16,000, and then 18,000. So we are improving. A lot of that obviously has to do with Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain last year won the UEFA Champions League, and the year before that reached the Champions League semi-final. So I think that we need to take responsibility for the Ligue and coefficient. We need to take responsibility for representing this league as well as possible, because the better we do, indirectly, automatically, it will have an effect on the other French teams. If we can win a Champions League and Marseille beats us in the league, they will feel confident they could potentially go far in the Champions League as well. But I'm really grateful that Ligue is growing day by day, season by season, year by year, month by month. And who knows, maybe Ligue teams in the future will start competing for the European trophies. Because as I mentioned, Ligue is the closest, in my opinion, to the Premier League. The economical revenue in Ligue is just going up and up and up. We're still a little bit down, compared to other leagues and so on, but that's not the point. The point is trajectory. The trajectory of Ligue 1 is only going up. Paris FC was recently bought in by the Louis Vuitton, Laurent something, I think, Arnold something, which is the owner of Louis Vuitton, and he's one of the richest men in the world, and he's going to fully invest there. And it's not just him. Well, he's brought the RB Leipzig family group. Jürgen Klopp, who's the president currently of RB Leipzig group, he has brought them into the club, which makes me think that it's even more likely that they will succeed at the top echelon of football. Why? Because they put in that energy, they put in that money, they put in the resources, and they have the infrastructure needed to compete. So we have another team that's coming up. And Paris FC, I think they're sitting mid-table at the moment from getting promoted from Ligue 2. So they're doing well so far. But in 1-2 seasons, we could talk about Paris FC as one of the representatives of Ligue 1 in the European competition. So very happy with the growth of Ligue 1. It's only going to get better from here, especially with Paris Saint-Germain looking so absolutely deadly. I've mentioned a couple of times that this Marseille team is the best Marseille team I've seen as a Paris Saint-Germain supporter, which is unfortunate, but it shows the strength of Ligue 1. It's just getting better and better. And with satellite clubs like Strasbourg, it's even better. That's been it from my boy PSG, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Let's prop Ligue 1, McDonald's as much as possible, because it's very unfortunate that in majority of cases, the casuals, the football casuals, they will sit there in front of you and you say Dembele scored a goal on the weekend, and they will tell you to your face, oh, that don't matter because it's Ligue 1. Those people, first of all, should stop trolling. Second of all, should seek help. And third of all, should think before they speak. That's been it from boy PSG. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez Paris.